table for one, please. I can be alone at a table for one. Sometimes I can feel alone in a crowded room. I love the smell of warm croissants just out of the oven, or a fresh cup of cappuccino. I love sitting and watching the world go by quietly, with thoughts in my head about life. I love strong old trees with roots that dig deep into the ground, and the shadows that grow long as the day goes on until it finally disappears with dusk. That's just like life, isn't it? The world of nature constantly amazes me. I love the green around me, how things grow and die and come back again. The artistic souls within us, and the smell of flowers after the rain. I am so glad that I am a part of this life. Thank you so much for joining me again. I'm so excited to have you with me today. And first of all, I want to say I am wearing my Lipsense. I had so many nice comments from all of you saying how much you like the color on me that I really changed my mind, and I am loving this Lipsense. And honestly, it stays on all day long. My daughter has had the same experience. She's wearing a beautiful soft pink, I think it's called pink champagne lipstick, and she's done a video on it. But she works 17-hour days, and she just talked to me earlier today. She says, "Mother, it's so wonderful. Lipsense stays on all day, and I don't have to refresh my lips at all entirely during the whole day that I am working and getting back to my hotel." So, as a starter, I love my Lipsense. And now let's go to what I'm going to really talk about during this video, and it's aromas. I love aromas. I like the smell of chocolate chip cookies baking in the oven. I love the smell of fudge. I love the smell of hot corn and butter when it's being grilled outside. And I also love the smell of flowers. Ever since I was a little girl, I really love fragrances, whether it's from food or natural fragrances. Flowers and the way my mother smelled when she put on perfume. So I've always been drawn to fragrances. Now, I know there are a lot of people that are allergic to fragrances and they don't like smells a lot, but I'm one of those people that I really love to have fragrance around me all of the time. So today I want to talk about the different fragrances that I have in my life. The first thing I want to talk about today is burning papers. This is an incense paper from France. It's called Papier d'Harmonie. And what you do, it's so easy to use. It's the last one. It smells like, I have another one, but it smells like roses. It's a wonderful fragrance. You can see the inside. There were 4 or 5 different strips right here. You take off a strip like this. It's very easy, and you fold it like an accordion, just very small like this, and you fold it, and then you put it in a container, and all you do is just light the very end of it. And I have this Stork Club ashtray that I had when I was real young and lived in New York, and I just put it in there like this, and I light the very end of it, and it just burns very slowly, but it gives off such a wonderful fragrance, and it just diffuses all through the house, and it's just very nice. It's very light, not heavy. The second thing that I like to burn in the house that reminds me of my travels to India with my husband. When we went through all of the temples, this wonderful aroma, the minute you walked through the front entrance, it just hit me, and it was so inviting and so spiritual that I was hoping that I would be able to find exactly the same thing when I came home. And I did. It's called Song of India. And this particular incense, and it's so strong that I can really smell it through the box. But whenever I want to relax, whenever I want to meditate and have a spiritual moment by myself, I light this incense, and it immediately calms me, takes me back to a very pleasant time in my life. And it's just really something about this incense just has such a calming, wonderful, meditative effect. So this is one of the aromas for the house that I really, really like. And if you can see behind me, I have a diffuser that has all kinds of different scents that came with it. It puts mist in the air, and I have it in my bedroom also at night so that I fill it, and I can use lemongrass, tea tree oil, lavender, eucalyptus, orange. It has all different kinds of scents in it in little vials. This is patchouli, and I also love patchouli because it's also a scent that reminds me of my travels through Asia and India, and it's just a very calming, soothing scent oil that I put into my diffuser. And I love it because the lights change, and it's just a very calming, wonderful effect. So this is a scent that I also love very much. And finally, I have to go back to when I was a teenager and I bought my very first bottle of perfume, and I saved and saved and saved for it. But Chanel No. 5. I have been so loyal to this fragrance forever. And I know it's kind of a one note, well, how come you keep the same perfume all the time? But I used to use Versailles, but they have since sold the company since I started using it years and years ago. And the fragrance is not quite the same. I also use Hermes, and that comes from France. The French perfumes, if you've noticed, the ones that are made in France are a little bit heavier and they last a little bit longer. So whenever I am in France, I try to pick up the Hermes fragrance. It lasts me forever. The Hermes, the big bottle that I have, I think I've had for about 5 years or more, and believe it or not, just a tiny little bit goes a long way because it concentrates more as it ages. But I am a Chanel No. 5 girl. I can't help it. It's so ordinary maybe, but I really love this fragrance, and I use it all the time. And as a matter of fact, from time to time, I just spritz a little bit in my closet so that when I open the door, I have this nice Chanel No. 5 kind of floating through my nose, and I really like it a whole lot. So I'm Chanel No. 5. I'm sure that you have a fragrance that you like and that you love. Maybe it's something that's very different. I had a good friend in LA whose mother used Christmas Morn, and I am not too sure who makes that perfume or if they make it anymore. I'll have to look it up, and maybe I can put it on the screen when I find out. But I think each of us does have a signature scent, unless you hate perfume, unless you really are allergic to perfumes and you don't like aromas and smells in your shampoo or whatever you use. But I just happen to be someone who loves aromas. I love fragrances. And fragrances have been a part of my life, whether it's a natural fragrance, outdoors smelling the flowers. I can remember when my husband and I first went to Hawaii. My youngest child was about 4, and we took her there. We had friends who were living there, so we took a plane, and it's before they had the walkways, and we had to go down the steps of the airplane. And as soon as that door opened in the airplane and we started walking down those steps, I could smell the wonderful Hawaiian fragrances of all the tropical flowers. It was so heavy in the air, it almost took my breath away. It was so wonderful, and I will never forget when we came down those steps and I had that wonderful experience smelling for the first time all of those terrific and welcoming tropical floral scents.